Hey everyone, meteorologist Miller Hyatt here with an update on our winter storm. It is on the way. We're just a few days away from it, and we are issuing Viper 6 alert days for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday due to the threat of ice and impacts to travel. So let's get right to it here. Here's what we do know. We do know the time frame. That's between Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning. Highest impacts being along north of I-20. We're looking at mostly freezing rain and a little bit of rain as well. Sleet possible, but we're not looking at any snowfall with this event. What we don't know is the wedge. How long is that going to stick around? Is it going to linger or is it going to erode fast? Now, if it lingers, that means we have a greater chance of seeing more ice. But if it erodes fast, we'll see that change over to rain much faster. And so the wedge is really going to dictate our forecast, and we're going to be fine-tuning this forecast and watch it nowcast. That means we're looking at the forecast and what is exactly happening as we go into the weekend. So that's what we don't know. Here's what you should do is to expect at least minor impacts and to prepare for moderate impacts. So right now across the U.S. we're looking at rain in the meantime for tomorrow and Friday as the cold front sweeps on through. Our system is actually off the coast of California, so it is far, far away. So look at how widespread this winter storm is going to be. We're looking at winter storm watches from Arizona all the way to Virginia, so over 1,800 miles. That is the path of this winter storm. So right now we've got some help from the hurricane hunters. Yes, they do track winter weather, winter storms. Not only do they track hurricanes and tropical systems, they're also gathering data from our winter storm that is off the coast of California. Notice here, they're sort of doing a zigzag around the storm. They're releasing drop zones, which sort of are weather instruments here that will be fed into our computer models to make a better forecast and give us a better idea of what is exactly going to be happening. So watch for those computer models to really come into better agreement as we head forward into the rest of this week. So here's what we're thinking. The low pressure system is going to push into the United States. Now after that, it's still in question as to whether it goes further north or further south. The further north it gets, the more rain we get, plain rain. The further south it goes, the more ice we get. Now, either situation, I don't think we're going to see much in the way of snow. Either way, it's either going to be all rain for some areas, or it's going to be more of the ice scenario. So, what we're thinking is, once we get to the weekend, the wedge is going to form. That's going to drive down cold and dry air. And with the dry air in place, that causes evaporational cooling, so it cools things down even more, and that what is locking in that wedge in place. Now, once this low creeps on in from the north, that's going to surge all the warm air north, and that's going to sort of erode that wedge. Now, how fast that wedge erode is still in question, and that's what we're going to watch during the event to see how fast that wedge erodes. But right now, we're just giving you the overall idea. We'll give you totals as we go into tomorrow. Right now I think it's a little bit too early for exact totals. But here's Futurecast, 6 a.m. on Saturday. Notice high pressure to the northeast. That's the wedge starting to build in. We've got this low pressure system pushing along the Gulf Coast. Pink in the form of ice pushing into Memphis. Nashville starting to transition over to all snow. Notice as we go in time, we're going to be watching that low pressure system off the coast pushing rain and ice to the north, and we'll be looking at temperatures actually falling going into Saturday afternoon, and that's what's going to allow for that transition over to ice. So notice this wedge is really locked in. We have this warm front and then the high pressure. So the warm front separates the cold air from the warm air. So we're in the cold air sector of the system, and that's why we're looking at all this pink and of course blue up towards Richmond and Washington, D.C. And then below the warm front, that is the warm sector, where we could even see maybe some rumbles of thunder for portions of Alabama. And then going through time, that warm air is going to try to break down that wedge. It's going to have a hard time, though, because many times this wedge is very stubborn and doesn't like to erode as fast as the models are showing. So even if it does show a lot of rain, I'm thinking that it'll take some more time for that rain to take over the cold air. So notice here going to 7 a.m. Sunday, we're still going to be in that wedge. But after that, we're going to look at that wedge breaking down, and that means we see more in the way of a rain mixed with maybe some freezing rain. So we're going to see temperatures going above freezing. And looking at a closer view of home, you'll look at the temperatures. We're starting off in the upper 30s. Saturday morning, we should be dry. Here comes some rain for areas south of I-20. We're a little bit above freezing. Areas north are a little bit below freezing. And we'll be transitioning over to all freezing rain by 6 p.m. Saturday. That's the time frame, 6 p.m. through the Sunday morning, that I want you to really stay home and off the roads, because we do have that threat of some icy roadways, also ice accumulating on the trees. Looking at Futurecast, midnight, we'll have some heavier returns of moisture coming in, so some heavy freezing rain coming in, especially north of I-20. Maybe a little bit of a break, hopefully, Sunday morning, according to this model run. Maybe through about noontime, but don't let your guard down, because going to the afternoon, we'll be looking at another round of some moisture. But notice here, we could be in the 50s south of I-20 if this model is correct. However, I don't think it'll be that warm. The wedge is stubborn. It's underestimated by the models, so don't take this literally, the temperatures here, because I expect it to be a little bit cooler than this. That shows 62. That is just incredible for it to warm up that much. I just don't think that is believable for it to be 62 to 64 degrees after just being in the 30s with all the cloud cover, the moisture, and the rain. So right now, the biggest threat is going to be along and north of I-20. That's what we do know. 60 to 80% chance of at least minor impacts north of I-20. Augusta Metro, around 40 to 50% chance. Of course, this is changing with the new computer models coming in. They'll come out later tonight and into tomorrow as well. Now, switching gears to moderate impacts, we're going to see higher impacts, of course, still north of I-20, up to a 60% shot of impacts being moderate. And Saluda, McCormick, also in Lincoln County, Wilkes County, those areas need to be on guard for the potential of some damaging ice in the forecast. And that is when we get up to a quarter of an inch to half an inch of ice, possibly devastating impacts if you get to half an inch or maybe up to an inch. And the models are still going back and forth as to how much ice is going to accumulate, but be prepared for slick roadways, possible power outages, and there are some things, of course, that are good to do preventing the damaging impacts from an ice storm. So, of course, fill your car full of gas, stay off the roads, avoid parking under trees and limbs, prepare your generator, especially for north of I-20, stock emergency supplies, have the emergency kit handy, food, water, blankets in case you get stuck, hopefully not, and of course check your neighbors and stay updated on the forecast. That's my latest thinking right now. I'll keep you updated as we go into the weekend. I hope you stay safe and have a great night. As always, tune in to News Channel 6 on air, online, and have our Viper 6 weather app.